hopefully we can take these cases more seriously and really hold offenders accountable for their crime.
It could be a huge victory for victims of domestic violence. Right now in Ohio, strangling your partner is a misdemeanor offense, but the penalties could soon be harsher. News 5's Amanda Van Allen here tonight. And Amanda, those changes could be coming.
Danita, they really could, and a bill just passed through the Senate that would make strangling your domestic partner a felony. Advocates say it's so important to get this law on the books because victims of strangulation are 7 times more likely to be killed by their partners.
The research is clear, and many other states are already on board.
It's just a really pretty awful crime, and so, it's one that we really need to take seriously.
But here in Ohio, if you strangle your domestic partner and the victim survives, the attack is still considered a misdemeanor.
We've been hoping for a long time that there would be some type of strangulation statute that got introduced or some type of legislation.
Senate Bill 207 aims to make it a felony. And Molly Kaplan at the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center says strangulation is one of the most common forms of domestic abuse.
It goes back to really that power and control dynamic, and that perpetrator physically holding that person's life in their hands. And so if you think about the closeness of that crime and just how dangerous and how intimate that has to be.
She says non-fatal strangulation often leads to far worse.
A victim who is strangled, who experienced a strangulation incident, is 7.5 times more likely to be a victim of intimate partner homicide.
Kaplan adds that about half of the victims in domestic violence homicides were survivors of strangulation.
But now that we know that it's a homicide risk factor and we know that victims are at risk, that we can take it seriously, and that's really what this legislation is about.
And Ohio is one of only 5 states that don't have some sort of strangulation legislation on the books. The bill has passed through the state Senate, and it recently was introduced into the House.